All right, so for anyone playing along at home, we're doing 322 today, and that is in CC3. We're going to be in CC3 for a while, so I'm not going to put this after every homework. Just assume we're in CC3 unless I say something about not being in CC3. We are going to check 614, so if you don't have that out yet, you could also be getting that out of your math binder. We got math notes for Unit 2, so we're sleeving them and putting them in our binders. And notice, hey, I'm losing some of you. Notice there is some review about the distributive property. Actually, let's go in order. Everyone flip to the start of your Unit 2 math notes. When in your homework it talks to you about making a complete graph, a complete graph has the following components. Hey, look, it lays it out for you. What does it need to be a complete graph? So if you come and ask me, hey, what do I need for a complete graph? I'm going to promptly grab my math notes, open them up, and say nothing as I point to this list. This can also be found, Evelyn, would you like to point out the poster beside you? This can also be the one next to that. Right back there, the pieces and parts of a graph can also be found right back there near where Evelyn is, because more posters keep getting put up. Flip to the next page. You had a question about circles on your homework. If you didn't do tonight's homework yet, well, that's fine, because it's tonight's homework. But some of you grabbed it yesterday. Some of you worked on it yesterday. Hey, guys, right here, we're going to do a little funny, silly Mr. Hudson sort of thing. Here's what's in a mile? What's in a mile? 5 tomatoes, right? I'm going to teach you a trick for circumference that hopefully you will never forget. Who likes, guys, it's almost fall, or is it? It is fall, it's almost fall. Who likes a good, like, pumpkin pie?
Oh, no, it's not.
Apple pie, peach pie, rhubarb. Anyone like rhubarb? My mom. Rhubarb. I think rhubarb's a plant where you have to eat only the root, or like because the leaves will kill you.
Why would you miss that?
Because it's good. All right. So hold on. Okay. So imagine with me. I lost some of you, but imagine with me your favorite pie. Now, if it's a pizza, that's fine. Imagine with me your favorite pie. Most of the time, if I say the crust, we're probably going to be thinking about the part that if your grandma is like my grandma was, rest in peace, grandma. It's all good. She was like 97. It's all good. Like, death doesn't have to be a bad thing, guys. But you got one of those fancy crusts around it, right? The crust is made of what? Who's ever made a pie? What's the crust made of?
Carbohydrates.
Okay, thank you, scientists. I'd be more general. When you're making a pie, you make dough. Crust is pie dough. Crust is pie dough. Circumference. Guys, crust, circumference. A way you can remember your circumference formula. Crust is pie dough. So really, what does that mean? C, circumference, is pi times your diameter. Crust is pie dough. And I think I wrote that in your homework. So if you hadn't heard me say this yet, you're probably like, what? When did we start talking about pie? Well, when did we start talking about tomatoes and running a mile? Alex? What is basic geometry? What, like this? Yeah, I know, but it's a memory trick. Is that all you had to say? Is that this is geometry? So, we gotta get through a little bit of class, but I have another thing to show you involving pizza. All right, here, guys, everyone take a moment to look over here, because you're gonna use this today in class. This is a step-by-step walkthrough. Like if you went onto homework help and you asked for what's the next step in solving this equation? What's the next step? What's the next step? What's the answer? right? Like we keep going step by step by step to the answer. But I want you to look here for a moment before we start class and just read that. Because it's in your notes, highlight stuff if you want to. Solutions to a one variable equation. You guys not have? Because these were put away for a couple days. I'm trying to make it really easy. Easier. So easier, right? Because just the E word is bad. So now that we've looked at that, and of course there's a back to this piece of paper, right? Representations web. So we'll get there eventually. I forget if that's in the next couple days of homework. But let's look at Shira the sheep. That paper, but mainly to check our work. And we're going to talk this real quick. Now I'm getting mixed up in what my plan was. Give me just a moment. Yeah. So on your Shira the sheep paper, hey friends, all the noises, humming, singing, talking is not helpful to my brain. Let's talk real quick about when the boundary point would be included. I want your team to take less than 5 minutes. I'm going to flip the 5-minute timer to try to keep me honest and make me like slow down. I want your team to talk about how we could draw a graph of the situation, like draw a number line, an inequality. So for example, if I talk about the heights in this classroom, who thinks they're the shortest person in this classroom? Who thinks you're the shortest? It's okay. Charlie, how tall are you? Well, I need to know how tall you are if we're going to talk about you being the shortest.
I'm probably the shortest.
Okay, we will measure you at some point. I actually keep meaning to bring, like, measuring thing to put on the door.
I know my known height.
This is not working well.
I know my
Maybe we don't want to admit that we're the shortest.
All
right. Maddie, we'll say you're the shortest because you keep volunteering. How tall are you?
I'm 5'1".
So if Maddie is the shortest, right? Her height would be in this class. We would include it, right? Yeah. And then if no one is shorter than her, which direction would be shaded? To the right, right? Because this is going up. And then who do you think? Well, should we just keep shading forever? Should I just put an arrow on here? Or is there someone in here infinitely tall? No. No, I sure hope not, because we just had the roof replaced. No joke. So we do not put an arrow if there's a cutoff point. Who do you think's the tallest? I mean, for now, anyone over 6'2"? Yeah, sorry. By the end of the year, one of you will probably be taller than me. But right now, if we're counting me, and would this get shaded in?
No.
Yes, because I am here, right? Yeah. But what if instead of 6'2", I made it 6'3", which I am not? I am not. Are any of you 6'3"? No. So, hey, we're like, I get the funny middle school goofy, but it takes too long because I've lost time this year. Then we would not shade at this point because nobody is that tall in this room. Take a couple minutes, try to figure out what inequalities we would use to represent this. It might just go one direction with an arrow. It might have 2 cutoff points. Go for it. This is on your Shira the Sheet page. It's on Shira the Sheet because you should have that out because we're going to check it. It's 614. We got it last week. Oh, you might have gone home that day. It was...
Wait, can you go like 5 miles above?
All right.
Are we supposed to be realistic? Like, usually people will get
Yes.
5 for 10 minutes.
No, that you could. Not like do you think you would, but could the cop pull you over and give you a ticket.
I believe so. Because that would, I mean, like, people would be going that.
We're not speculating about the police officer, which is also much nicer to say than cop, because, but the police officer can give you a ticket. Not that they would, but they can.
You got $10, you brought $10. Wait, no, why did you send the line in between the desks?
Because there are students who exist in that range, like all of your guys' heights. But then, I am like right here, nobody is there. So that's why we would leave that open, because nobody's taller.
I just don't want to admit I'm the tallest. I'm literally like 7'3". Yeah.
Oh, fine, Evelyn's the Alright, Evelyn. But you're not 7'4". But you're not 7'4". You're 7'3". Okay.
On the second one, can you go like, can you be in debt?
Dude, no. Like, try to be realistic. You're like, I get where you're trying to be funny.
But I'll say,
Okay, do the math. Mathematically, would a store let you take something you cannot afford? No. You know this.
Yeah, but like you only need a dent. There could be a light. Right?
Let's start at 5.
What if you took a load?
And it's 7. Wait, I can't ride my favorite roller coaster? Untrue. I mean, that's not choice. No, it's never.
I didn't know tennis was 5.
But less than 7 feet tall. Let H represent any height. Well, just like H at 5 and then forward. Stop at 7. Like,
You actually need to explain to you that these are two different columns that create two different columns. But you saying that out loud makes me feel like I need to stop and explain. That is obviously not what I'm going to show.
Please see William Alley in the Perry office for just a moment. William Alley. Thank you.
Because if it's not helping you, it's not helping me, and it's not helping anybody else. It's probably not necessary. Amir, do I need to take your ruler away from you? I do not care. It's actually my ruler. Do I need to take it away? So if we're driving, Mick, and the speed limit is 65 miles an hour. Now, Mick, I would not advise you to drive because that is already illegal. But once you're legal age to drive, let X represent any speed that could get a ticket. When you put your boundary point, because this is what we call this, your boundary point, would you get a ticket for driving 65? No, because that is the speed limit. You're allowed to go that speed. If I'm shading what would get a ticket, maybe I should use red since that's bad. Would I shade to the right or to the left? To the right, and we would say that of X is greater than 65, right? Because at 65, now, would you get a ticket for going 66? Probably not. Could you? Yes. Evelyn, what about on B? You took $10 to the mall. I'm sure you can only take more than that if you're going to the mall because these days $10 is not much. But for the boundary point, let's use green because it's money. So Evelyn, could you spend $10? Yes. So do we shade that or leave it open? We shade it. then which direction are we gonna shade? To the left. Now, are we gonna like go on forever?
No. Stop it. Stop at 0.
We have to stop at 0. Now, could you spend $0? Yes. So we also shade that point. Ada, to ride your favorite roller coaster, you must be at least 5 feet tall, but less than 7 feet tall. Can you talk me through how to make this? So, probably start with this, right?
Yeah.
Then what two numbers are important here?
5 and 7.
5 and 7. You guys, your numbers can go above the number line or below the number line. It doesn't really matter. Sorry, that 7 got a little funky. Okay, 5 and 7.
And anything like inside of that is fine, but anything like
Okay, so
below or
inside of
above.
here is fine. What about the 5? The point at 5. Can I be 5 feet?
Yes, you can.
At least 5 feet tall. Yeah, I can be 5 feet.
You have to be at least 5 feet.
What about 7?
You have to be less than 7. So
Can I be 7? No, because we have to be less than 7. Questions here. We cannot be 7 feet tall, kind of like the roller coaster problem we did. They figured out that's too tall. Evelyn and Ella, you're really distracting me because I can 100% tell you're not engaged.
no, I am. I promise. Yeah, look, I got it all written down.
That doesn't mean that you're engaged right now. You're having a side conversation that I can't stop looking at, wondering what are they talking about? What's the tea? What are they? I can't focus, guys. It's a me problem, but I need your help. Like I need your help.
Talking about the T on your
It's like,
I was talking about the fact that I feel discriminated against as somebody over 10.
Yeah,
look, I'm sorry. If you want to keep your hands, you can't ride the roller coaster.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. For like the say for number or letter C, the like one right after inequalities.
Thank you, because that's exactly what I was about to do.
But could we do like 2 like H?
You could, but here's how you could put it together as one. I would write this down if I was you. Even Nick and Simon, who are also, I think, having a side conversation. To put this together, your x, your range, your height that you're allowed to be. 5 is less than or equal to x, because we shaded in the or equal to. But then x is bigger than 5, right? X is bigger than 5. 7 is bigger than x, but what that also means is x is smaller than 7. So guys, I could write this out as x is greater than or equal to 5, x is less than 7. But to do this, I gotta put them both together. Like, these separately, they're gonna overlap. But to actually represent this, you put it together. And that, like, you don't need to know this yet. Like, we're not gonna take a test on it like right now or anything. But you do need to start getting familiar. Okay, I was just talking to my neighbor last night about how, like, her favorite math teacher started stuff on the, like, kind of easier level and then kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. That's kind of what we try to do now, but that was like 40 years ago that she was talking, probably longer than that even. So here's your 614 homework that should have been right beneath those problems. It's okay if you don't have it completely done yet, but it is due tomorrow. Guys, I will admit I don't know if I want to call it creepy, but you might think it's creepy. I randomly hop on Dino when it's AO and extensions and just see what people are doing. Because a lot of times when people are using homework help, it lets me know who might need some assistance, and I go like check in with them. I say like, hey, I see that you're on homework help. What's going on? It's okay if you're using homework help, but if that's the only way you're surviving right now, you should probably be coming to work with me to get a human interaction of how to do the math. So these problems relate to what we've been doing and what we've had some experience with, but they're still fairly new. Now that you have your new math notes, they might make a bit more sense, but like I see people frantically copying right now, and that's not the good thing to do. That means you didn't give yourself a chance to try it on your own. Please don't frantically copy right now. Give yourself that chance to actually like strain your brain. As you never work out, like your muscles are never going to get stronger. This is your workout. This is your workout. When we test solutions, by the way, reciprocal. This was on the test we just took. It was in your math notes last chapter. It's okay if you didn't get it, but that's why we do revisions on tests. If you didn't get it on the test, you can revise it, and then you'll remember it better. But if you ever want to turn a fraction into a 1, you use its reciprocal. To test these, you could have just plugged them in, right? Plug in x is 2, plug in x is 2, find out if it's true. Or what I did, I mean, you could do both. I solved it, and then I had a simpler, like, expression thing to plug into. I had a simpler sort of thing to plug into. 1 fails, or A fails. B, C, and D should be good. Questions on B, C, and D being good? If you plug them in, the math works out. All right, here, check your substitution of these. Guys, actually check it. The signs. The signs are what are getting a lot of us. But it's really obvious that we're not doing what we're supposed to do. So unless you guys want it to be policy, you can't sit with each other. I need your behavior to change, like for now and the rest of the class. This is not focusing on. This is showing you your homework isn't done. Your homework isn't done. So I know, but so should we be paying attention or trying to make some fun, like whatever highlighter juice back here? We should probably be paying attention. It's really frustrating that I have to come back here and address this individually and gently try to get to it. But hey guys, this is really frustrating. Fix your behavior. I don't want to need to this to go to the office or anything else. Fix your behavior. Thank you.
Where do you get your shirt?
Well, my brother-in-law actually bought me this from a golf course, so it's probably the nicest polo that I have because it's like an actual golf. I don't know what. It's on here somewhere, I swear. There's like a symbol thing. I don't know what it means. It's like it's probably there's a windmill at that lighthouse, but it kind of looks like a putt windmill. Like you would.
Oh, that's cute.
Right, there's a little windmill. You can't really see it from far away.
Oh, where's the logo?
It doesn't even say any words. Maybe I should check the tag. If we write out the expression 4x plus 4, if we actually solve it, 32 or 26, depending on what x is, because obviously as x gets bigger, you don't need to apologize, just making sure we weren't like losing the fight with gravity. The 5D process. You probably learned about from last year, but let's just be honest, and Ahmad, I know your hand's going to go up. Who doesn't know what the 5D process is? Because some teachers choose just to not really teach it. The 5D process. So guys, I need your focus because we're going to talk about this once and maybe never again. The 5D process is guess and check. So what we do is we say, all right, if I guess 15 for this number that I might be trying to figure out, does it work? Try it out. No, it's too small. So if my guess is too small, what do I do with my guess? Take it up. So I increase my guess. Now, funny enough, Evelyn or Ella, please read the 5D process as defined by Soph.
The 5D process, as defined by Soph. When confronted by a difficult math problem, use the 5D process, which is as follows. Demand for help.
Demand for help. First D, demand help. What's the second D?
Deny it.
Deny it. So then say, no, I don't need help.
Delay as long as possible.
Yeah, this is meant to be funny, by the way. This is not actual advice. Delay as long as possible.
Doubt ability.
Doubt your ability.
Ask dad.
And ask dad. So that's not the 5D process. But Soph just tried to make a funny one, and Soph's in 8th grade, so I'll at least for sure keep that for this year. And, she could have done it a bit nicer. The edges aren't quite square. It's not up to Sophia level of. Sophia is, by the way, the one who made the ruler sign. Sophia, I don't want to say her last name, so I'm recording right now. But is making me a calculator sign. So she's like my interior decorator for the year, apparently. But any of you are welcome to help me with make my room look better. So that's the 5D process according to CPM is define, do, decide. There's a couple other D's. We don't really need to use it because quite frankly, honestly, it's a waste of time. If we use equations, we can much more quickly get to this point. And then the pool. Beth's pool, she's trying to fill it up. Alright, we need to put that away. Oh man, I hate time. Time is just the worst.
Wait, it's time to go?
So,
Already?
yeah, I know. Hold on. I have 2 minutes. So, I do want to show you guys at least one thing, and then we might want to play a game. Man, 1A, we keep forgetting to check con. No, that's not fair. Alright, so you guys, as of yesterday, took the lead when you went into ring 4. Then, 3A checked their progress. Yeah. So, let's see where you guys are now. Oh, that's the end? Now, I will say, it is very satisfying that you're on ring 4 at 44%. That's very satisfying.
It is.
However, you're losing. Reminder, whoever is winning at Forum tomorrow wins for the week and gets candy on Monday. So, what about what? They're not with 3A's winning. That's it, they're in first place. I can show you, but you're trying to beat whoever is in the lead. 3B, what? Nah, I think we forgot to check yesterday. I don't think we checked it. Yeah, I don't think we... 3B? 3B's in ring 2 still, but I think they keep forgetting to check because I'm not very good at remembering. And 1A's in ring 2. Bye, guys. Have a great day.